Hello amateurs, Tim Tunnicliffe here, back out interviewing for the Amateur Rugby podcast. Series 3, Season 3 is coming very, very soon, and this is the first interview I've recorded for that. It's going to happen today, but before that, let me tell you a little bit about the Great Rugby Run, which I'm currently training for. It's going to be in Scotland this year, and it's going to be 500 miles in 25 days around the rugby clubs of Scotland, all in support of the My Name's Doddy Foundation, supporting MND, people with MND, and hopefully finding a cure for that disease so people in the future don't have to suffer it as well. So if you want to find out more about that, then go on to thegreatruggerrun.org or search for The Great Rugby Run on all the social media channels. It's starting in about a month's time, so I'd love to have your support with that. But anyway, back to today, and we're here to visit somebody that's been on the podcast before. This is the first return guest. So we're in Littlemore in Oxfordshire, so that's your first clue. If we spin around here, we've got a Welsh house name here, and on the badge, oh, where is it? There's the Welsh Dragon. So let's go through. Let's see if we can find the man himself. Here we go, through the house. Just, I mean, it's got to be around here somewhere. Well, who's this dapper looking fellow out in the garden here?
Hello, how are you? Goodness me, it's in the middle of reading my book.
It's Mr. Lynn Evans. Lynn, how are you, sir?
Yeah, all right, not too bad. Yourself?
Very, very well. Nice to be here at your home again. It's very nice.
Nice flowers around to welcome you.
Yeah.
It's a bit hot for rugby, though.
It's a bit hot, but it's not too hot for reading. What on earth is this?
Well, it's a book about my life in rugby, and it's not a bad book. I think I wrote it with the help of a former classmate of mine from school. His English was much better than mine, so it's not too many mistakes in it.
Good stuff. And what's the title?
Well, it's called From Valley Boy to Table Mountain, and you're going to ask me why is that?
Why is that then?
Well, I remember being in the valleys, growing up, playing where there were no coaches there, and then I went into teaching and into coaching rugby, and worked for the RFU, and then the Penguins, who are an international coaching group, and we went to South Africa when the British Lions were there. Not the worst place to spend 10 weeks, I think we were there, and we went up Table Mountain once, and somebody took my photograph at the top, and I thought, that's not bad for volleyball to get up the top of Table Mountain, even though we went up the easy way.
Yeah, fabulous, good stuff. And I've got to tell you folks, I sent this round to lots of my people here on the Amateur Rugby podcast, and it's been very well received. People love the book, so so well done on that. Now then, is anything else happening this summer that we might talk about during this interview?
I'll change hats, as
Yeah.
you say. On the 21st of August, a good friend of mine, a celebrated French coach, Pierre Villepoix, is coming over with 3 of his colleagues to run a course called the Plaisir de Mouvement, and at a place called Kingham Hill, which is near Chipping Norton in Oxfordshire. And Pierre, as you can see on the cap is the logo that they use, is such an exceptional coach who uses a game-based and player-centered type of coaching. This would be really unusual. You wouldn't be pleased because you played in the front row, but there's no scrums, no lineouts, no organised rucks and walls. It is like decision-making in the game, and it's really quite testing for all the boys.
That sounds amazing. Okay, Lynn, we're going to go and talk about that in more detail now during the podcast. And people, the podcast is going to be out this Sunday. So if you want to hear more about that, if you want to hear more about Lynn's amazing book and Le Plaisir de Mouvement, then make sure you get on the podcast feed this Sunday morning. And I'll see you there. See you on the next one. Cheers.